Hello friend, this is Akash Misir here and welcome back to my YouTube channel, that is Mechanical Engineering Make Easy. In this is 7th lecture of manufacturing, and for my other lectures of other subject maybe you can go to my channel, or otherwise I have provided all the links in I button. So go in I button, I have provided all the playlist there, so you can go from that also. So this is 7th lecture, and this we are going to cover rolling. So what exactly rolling? Rolling is nothing but one sheet or one diameter roller, that may be anything. We are here assuming that is sheet of having thickness T1. Okay, one sheet is there and which having thickness T1, and while passing through two rollers, that thickness will become T2. Okay, means that thickness is going to decrease here because of these two rollers, roller 1, roller 2. Okay, both rollers will be identical in shape and size, and how that we will look. Okay, velocity of top roller should be equal to velocity of bottom roller. Okay, and what's the velocity is nothing but pi dn by 60 of roller 1, that should be equal to pi dn by 60 of roller 2, and here the pi by 60 is constant. So what happens, dn of roller 1 should equal to dn of roller 2. This is diameter of roller and this is rpm of roller. So ultimately from this equation we will get to know that d1 equal to d2 and n1 equal to n2. This we will get from this equation. And why we have taken velocity of both rollers are same, because they are contacting with the same area here and here, so they should have same velocity. Otherwise one roller will have, if one roller have more velocity than another, then that roller will slide on this surface. Okay, and this thing will happen. That's why the velocity of both the rollers should be same, and as velocity is same, so diameter will be same and speed should be same. This is all about the basics of rolling. Then we will look one formula, that is delta H or delta T. We can denote by delta H also, and in some books that change in thickness is denoted by delta T also, which is equal to T2 minus T1. Okay, this is change in thickness or change in height. Both the terms are same. So we will look some another formula also. So next formula is length of deformation zone. What was that deformation zone? This was the roller. Okay, this is the total length of deformation zone. Okay, so that L equal to, this is not a circular path, that will be horizontal path, L. Okay, and which L is equal to R under root R delta H, or in place of delta H you can put delta T. Okay, so R delta H or R delta T, this is the formula of that length of deformation zone. Okay, and what is R? This is radius of roller. This is center and this is R. Okay, radius of roller. Then deformation angle or bite angle. Which is that deformation angle or bite angle? From the center, this is the deformation angle or bite angle, which is denoted by alpha. Means how much, for how much angle that workpiece is in contact with that roller, that angle is nothing but deformation angle or bite angle. Okay, so what exactly the equation for that? That is alpha equal to tan inverse of under root delta H upon R. Okay, this is radius and this is change in thickness, and alpha equal to tan inverse of under root of delta H upon R. Okay, you may forget this under root, that under root is too much important. So note it down, this formula. We will move towards next now. Okay, what's the next? That is nothing but the maximum change in height that we can achieve by rolling force. Okay, that is delta H max. How much maximum change in thickness we can do with the help of rolling? Okay, that depends on mu square into R. This is the radius of roller and mu square is coefficient of friction. Okay, mu is coefficient of friction and R is radius of roller. So depending on R and coefficient of friction between workpiece material and the roller surface, depending on these two parameters, the maximum change in thickness that we can achieve, that is going to define. Okay, and the formula is mu square R. Note down this formula also. Then there is omega, that is angular velocity, 2 pi n by 60. This is common formula, but again you may forget for some reason, because velocity will have equation pi d n by 60, pi d n by 1000, 2 pi n by 60. Number of equations are there. For specific rolling, we are going to calculate angular velocity, and that have equation 2 pi n by 60. Okay. Then power denoted by P, which is equal to 2t omega. Omega is this. Okay, and 2 is for 2 rollers. Okay, T omega is power for one roller, and 2 is going to put here, multiply by 2, and that is because of we are using two rollers. One is at top, one is at bottom, and in between them rollers the material is going to feed. Okay, that's why this 2 is there. This is torque, and this is angular velocity, this is power. Okay, so now we will move towards the torque formula. Torque is nothing but F average into A. Okay, and what's that A? F average into lambda L. Okay, A is nothing but lambda into L, and what exactly that lambda? Lambda is arm factor. Okay, lambda is arm factor, and which is generally have value between 0.3 to 0.4. Lambda is arm factor, and L, we know L is nothing but under root of R delta H. Okay, so that L formula, length of deformation zone, that's the L, and we have the formula of L, that is under root of R delta H. Okay, so note down this formula. Then we have the formula for F average. Okay, F average is nothing but sigma F average. Okay, sigma F average means flow stress, average flow stress. We have discussed the average flow stress in previous lecture. So if you haven't seen that lecture, go to that and watch that video also. That in that video I have given you idea about what is the flow stress and what is average flow stress. Okay, into projected area. F average, that is average force, is nothing but the average flow stress into projected area. Okay, and what exactly the projected area? Projected area is nothing but, okay, sigma F average into B into L. Okay, B into L means this is the length and the B is nothing but width. Okay, B is nothing but the width of that strip. Here the thickness is there, and the parameter which is perpendicular to this, that may be the, that is the nothing but the B. The, okay, if this plate is likewise, Okay, then this is the B. Okay, B, the width of that plate, how much wide that plate is. Okay, that is nothing but the B. Then yes, so finally we got the formula for power, which is equal to 2 pi into F average ln by 60. Okay, so we know 2 pi by 60, it is the constant. F average is nothing but the average force, which is equal to sigma F average into B into L. This is L and this is N, that is RPM. Okay, so this is the formula for power. Note down this formula also. There is the derivation for calculation of power formula also, but in case of GATE exam, they are not going to ask you the derivation. They will ask you only question on the power formula, F average formula, or torque formula, etc. That's why I am giving you only formulas. So go with these formulas, you will not face any problem. So I have given you the power formula, F average formula, torque formula, before that the length formula, the bite angle formula, and etc. All the formulas are too much important. If you need this figure, you can draw this figure likewise, or by your imagination also you can draw figure, no problem. Okay, and if you are enjoying my session, then please like and share to the needy peoples, because I am giving you content free of cost on YouTube. And why I am giving, because I also faced the problem while preparation of GATE that we need to pay near about 40,000 or above for coaching, and we are not able to do that. That's why I am providing all the content free of cost on YouTube. So let's move further. Types of rolling mills. Types of rolling mills. Okay, the basic figure, in that we have shown two rollers, and in between them the material is going to flow likewise. Okay, but this is very simplest form. There are number of types of rolling mills, like two high rolling mills, means which we have shown here. This is the two high rolling mills, means two rollers we have used, and these are high rollers, and that rollers are going to press the material. This is two high rolling mill. Then next is three high rolling mill, means what happened, one roller we will place here, and ultimately this material will come from here to downward and from here. And in this case what happens, we have reduced the thickness here, maybe this is H1, we will reach the thickness here, that will be H2. Okay, and here again we will reduce the thickness to the H3, means progressive reducing the thickness is happens between three high rolling mills, means three high rollers will be used, and depending on that the rolling mill works. This is the three high rolling mill. Okay, after that three high rolling mill, there is four high rolling mills or backup or supporting mills. In this case, what is the case, here is one roller. I want to remove this all portion. Okay, here is one roller, here is another roller, and one small roller will be supported by this. Same will be here, small roller, high roller, high roller. The diameter of these, okay, and these two will be same, D, D, D and D. The diameter of this and this will be same, that is small d. These four rollers are four high rollers, means because of these four rollers the pressure is going to acted on this roller, this small diameter roller, and the taking the pressure from these two rollers and these two rollers will going to deform the material. Okay, this is called as the 4 high rolling mill or backup or supporting mills. Okay, then there is another type that is cluster rolling, then there is another type that is planetary rolling, etc. These are number of types, but the first three, that is 2 high rolling mill, 3 high rolling mill and 4 high rolling mill, these three types are important for our study purpose. Okay, another that cluster rolling and planetary rolling are not too much common types. Then bonus point for today's lecture, they are very simple but too much important. For cold rolling, for cold rolling, mu will be nearly equal to 0.1. And what the mu, that is coefficient of friction, and for every kind of rolling the coefficient of friction changes. Okay, for cold rolling, then warm rolling, the mu will nearly equal to 0.2. Okay, then for hot rolling, mu will nearly equal to 0.4. And for hot rolling sticking, mu will nearly equal to 0.7. So what are the case? Cold rolling means we are rolling the component on at room temperature or below room temperature. Okay, this is cold rolling. Warm rolling means some temperature increased above the room temperature, means for example the room temperature is 27 degrees Celsius, so we are rolling on 50 degrees Celsius or 100 degrees Celsius. This is called as warm rolling. Okay, and what is hot rolling? Hot rolling is nothing but the temperature is very high, near about recrystallization temperature, and the hot rolling sticking means above recrystallization temperature. Okay, at that time what happens? Hot rolling sticking case, the material is going to stick on roller because the grain refinement takes place and etc. Okay, means above recrystallization temperature there is hot rolling, near to recrystallization temperature there is hot rolling, and warm rolling is above room temperature. Cold rolling is that may be at room temperature or below room temperature. Okay, so friend, this is all about what I have designed for today's lecture. Please like, share and subscribe my channel, and if you have enjoyed then please let me know in comment, and in next lecture I will come up with wire drawing process. Okay, so we will meet again. Thank you friends.